Hey guys, I just wanted to give you a seed starting update. I'm going to show you what I've been up to and how things are progressing and what success that I'm having with all the different methods that I've been using for seed starting this season. Alright, so we are at a very exciting moment in the seed starting process. We have our first germination. So the first seeds to germinate for us was globe thistle, and it germinated in the fridge. So I'm going to see if I can show you this. So you can kind of see, can't quite see this, but there's a little tail. A bunch of the blue globe thistle has germinated as well. Okay, so that was our first germination for seeds so far, from what I can tell. The wool is the best. So for the wool, we had globe thistle, blue glow, and we had 10 out of 10 seeds germinate. Hey everybody, so if you remember, I started lavender seeds in the fridge about over a month ago now. I started them on January 14th. Today is February 20th, so I'm going to take a look at those seeds. It's been within the 30 to 40 day range, And I was just looking up, do I really want to wait for them to germinate in the fridge, or should I take the seeds and should I just put them in soil blocks and let them germinate in the soil blocks? I think that's what I'm going to go for because none of them have germinated, but I just want to show you what that's going to look like. So we're just going to take the seeds from the cold stratification and we're going to put them in soil blocks. Guys, so behind me, as you can see, I've got quite a bit of light going on. My camera's struggling to focus. Back into the twilight zone. Woo! But yeah, I'm just going to show you, walk you through what's happening on these shelves. Okay, so guys, so right here I've got some borage here in the back. We've got some globe thistle. The borage and the globe thistle started out like this in the fridge, and they all germinated in the fridge. Now, I made a slight mistake in that I planted them and then we went on a weekend trip, and so a lot of the globe thistle didn't make it. And then also the other mistake that I made is globe thistle when it sprouts and borage when it sprouts, because the seed, it starts out a lot larger. The plant, the seedling, is a lot larger right away. So I started these out in the mini soil blocks and quickly had to move them to the medium soil blocks, as you can see. Over here we have, so this is all my stuff that I sowed in the fridge. Show you down here, there's more. And basically this just hasn't germinated yet. And so I decided to put it under the light. It got 3 weeks in the fridge, and so I decided to give it some time in light and see if it would germinate. So I've had some success. You can see this. As you can see it better with the backlight. Starting to see some germination on this yarrow. You can see that? That's kind of what that looks like. I've also got a little bit of germination happening here in this rudbeckia. You can see that. So I've got some germination happening. Yeah, so that's what's happening with the fridge sowing is anything that hasn't germinated yet, I put it on the shelves. Okay, so with the fridge sowing, here's what happened. So I did the lavender really early. The lavender got like over a month in the fridge and it just never germinated. So I decided to plant it. And then everything else I fridge sowed almost a whole month later after the lavender, and it only got 3 weeks in the fridge. My borage, the globe thistle, it germinated within, I think, less than 2 weeks. It was like 12 days. So the fridge sowing method seems to be working okay. Now, here's what I've learned so far. I thought that certain plants just needed cold stratification, but in my experimenting, I have discovered that that is not necessarily true because, so for rudbeckia, brown-eyed Susan, black-eyed Susan, I assumed, and what the seed packets kind of communicated was that I was going to need a lot of cold stratification in order to get them to germinate. But I actually sowed some indoor, just straight from the seed packet, did some mini soil blocks. I did 20 of each, and the germination rate has almost been 100%. And that's with no cold stratification. So I'm just going to show you that now. Okay, so starting over here, I just want to show you, if you can see, so we've got some lavender coming up here, more lavender. We've got this is yarrow. This is our black-eyed Susan and brown-eyed Susan in the back. We've got some goldblits, rudbeckia goldblits, and a lot of bee balm. So I did have the globe thistle and the borage on this tray and had to move them out because they were shading out these, like, smaller ones. It was in a flow block with lavender, and there's this one right here. We got this little lavender guy, and he was being shaded out by the borage, so I had to move that. I'm gonna pull this out. So my labeling has been a bit tricky, but I'm just going to show you this. Here we go. Okay, so here we've got lavender, elegance snow, and elegance purple. This is the fruit bowl yarrow mix. So this fruit bowl from Baker Creek has had an excellent germination rate. The Colorado mix from Baker Creek germination rate has been a little bit lower, but not by much. Got some lavender here. The lavender is definitely slower to germinate, but just being patient and waiting for it. So this is our black-eyed Susan, and as you can see, I thought it wasn't going to have a great germination rate, so I sowed multiple seeds in each soil block, and they like almost all germinated. So I don't need to worry about that in the future. And then this is the brown-eyed Susan. Great germination so far. And then here I've got more lavender, and this is going to be bee balm, which the bee balm has germinated. Bee balm needs light to germinate, so I put the bee balm in the fridge for 3 weeks, and then I put it under the lights, and I got great germination rate on the spotted bee balm, which is a Baker Creek seed packet. The other bee balm, not as great, so I have wild bergamot. I've got a bee balm mix, and then I've got another bergamot bee balm. I think that's how you say that. And germination rates weren't as great. I don't know if any of the bee balm is coming up. We got some little bee balms coming up here. You can see that. Yeah, we got Cupid's Dart here in the back, and Feverfew. And we've got some teeny tiny little Pearly Everlastings coming up. And what else is in here? Oh, we've got Blazing Star. So that's all Blazing Star right there. And then the other thing that's coming up great that I did not cold stratify. I don't know if you can see it. It's so small. Yeah, I can see it a little bit right there. So this is Portaluca, or Moss Rose. I did not cold stratify it. And I'm actually having great germination. So super happy with that. And this tray is empty. I actually make my soil blocks ahead of time, and I just rehydrate them when I sow the seeds. And then that one that's covered with vermiculite is bee balm. So that's where I'm at with indoor sowing, all of my fridge sowing. So indoor sowing, fridge sowing, that's how it's all going. And now I'm going to go show you what's happening in the winter sowing area. Okay guys, so here's our winter sowing. I'm going to show you what's started so far. So a lot of these got planted out around the same time as the fridge sowing. So around probably February 7th. A few of these got planted out even earlier, so the lavender and all the rudbeckia, which I still haven't seen some germination on those yet, so we'll see today if we've got anything. Okay, so this is the yarrow, and this is the first thing to germinate. Yarrow is such an easy germinator, and these germinated, so you can see right here the water drips have quite decimated the soil blocks, because this probably late January, probably January 24th that I put these guys out here. You can already see some of the green algae forming. You can see, like, even right here, you can see that a seedling got knocked out by the water and sprouted, not in a soil block. So this is an interesting experiment in the bins. The thing I don't like about it so far is just how the water droplets, when they freeze on the inside of the lid and then they melt, they drop down and they kind of destroy the mini soil blocks. I wonder how the medium soil blocks would do. But you can see these guys germinated, and it's been, below freezing out here, and they are doing great. So in the bin, they're totally protected. Yeah, so this is an example of a bin, man, that is just really struggling. So this is an early one. So this was probably put out here late January, mid-January. You can see the green algae is quite bad. So actually this was sowed even earlier than that. So the rudbeckia. And there is actually some germination. Some of them are coming up, but you can see that guy right there. Yeah, but they'll germinate and they'll do fine out here. I'm not going to get as many as I want because of these water droplets. So my conclusion with winter sowing in these bins with mini soil blocks is that I think that it would work better if it was maybe done in March and not super early on. So you run the risk of the soil block being destroyed by a drop of water. We'll see how the germination rates go. But I'm definitely going to start more seeds indoors just to make sure I have enough. That's for sure.